Hello and welcome to this very, very special interactive whisky tasting which is coming live from Laphroaig's distillery here in the Isle of Islay on the south coast of that island. It's beautiful here. You've got, well, Scotland in a boat ride in one direction, and Ireland a boat ride in the other. You've got the best seats in the house tonight, so stay with us. Now, if you are one of the army of malt whisky fans who joined us from around the world when we did our whisky tasting back in November in London, thank you for doing so. You made it the largest single interactive event of its kind, bar none. From New York to New Zealand, from Singapore to Sydney, you joined us all around the world. And tonight, we're going to make it bigger and better. Well, we're now inside that very warehouse that I was just talking about, and it's such an extraordinary and rare place to be standing. Why? Well, because basically no one's allowed in here. This is rarefied territory, unless, of course, you happen to be the Duke of Rothesay, for instance, who was standing just here only 2 weeks ago when he popped in to have a look round. His other title, of course, is His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. That's why he was let in. But for others, nah. They're not allowed in here. Friends of Laphroaig, even them, they can't get in here. But we're in here, and we're in here for one reason and one reason only, because there are casks, butts, and barrels full of malt whisky, slowly maturing away. However, before we get to taste some of all of that, let's have a look at this beautiful island and its distillery. So, as I told you, what an extraordinary and magical place it really is. Very shortly, we're going to be tasting some of the whiskies I've got down here in front of me. But before we do all of that, some people were just in the right place at the right time in the right island. They are friends of Laphroaig. They don't normally get in here, but they're in here now. Hello, guys. How are you? You all right? Right place, right time. Nice smile from you guys. You're going to be tasting all 5 of our special expressions in just a little while. I'll explain expressions to you unless you're not familiar with those in a few moments. We've also got the friend, or not only the friends, we've got the staff as well. Hard working that they are, the people that produce some of this fine whisky as well. Guys, chance for you to sit down and sample, not that you haven't done before, some of the fine whiskies as well. Welcome along. Hope you enjoy the night as much as we do as well. We also have a panel. And our panel of tasters here, well, they should know a thing or two about whisky. They're probably the most experienced panel you're ever going to get in whisky tasting. We have our man who's our master blender, Robert Hicks. Robert, nice to have you with us here. Welcome along.
Excuse me, that's me.
Oh, it's down there. Don't you start. You're all moving around, are you? So you're swapping seats as well. Good to have you with us. Thank you very much indeed. And also we've got down here John Campbell as well. John, are you all right? Distillery manager, smiling, looking forward to tasting some?
Yep, we've got some good expressions here tonight.
Some great expressions down here tonight. And again, I'll explain those expressions in a moment. And we've also got down here as well Martin Nouet as well, whisky writer extraordinaire, and also the keeper of the Quaich. Now, can you, we'll explain the Quaich, and we better do this very, very briefly. That's a silver dish in front. What does it mean?
Well, being the keeper of a Quaich is a great honor because it's made me, it's a recognition of the small contribution I brought to the industry. I think there are plenty of people who maybe deserve it more than me, the people who work at the distillery. But I'm very honored and I'm very, very pleased to be a keeper of a Quaich.
I can see Robert's shaking his head, and so am I as well. No, you well deserve this.
You do, yes.
You well deserve this. You're known as the Queen of the Stills, so I'm told.
That's the nickname that I've been given in France because I just love all spirits and I love writing on
Okay, well, we're going to taste some of these whiskies in just a few moments. As we were explaining there, when it comes to talking about expressions, that's talking about the age and the styles of whiskey. We have 5 to taste. We better get on with the first of those. Let's just talk about this first one. It's the 10-year-old, and now the 10-year-old. This is the benchmark by which everything else is judged by, really, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of the benchmark for all Laphroaigs. This recipe, if you like, or this was the main recipe from the 1930s onwards, and it hasn't changed to this day. We still put it into the same bourbon barrels, 10-year-old, in the green bottle. So this is the standard.
That's the standard. That's the one that's measured by. By all means, guys, do have a tasting, and also for our friends as well, and for our staff, do have your tasting of that one. I don't seem to have a glass in front of me at the moment, but I'll catch up with you a little bit later on. But probably a wise decision, I'd say. What should we be looking for here?
Well, the 10-year-old Laphroaig, I'd say this is the one that most people will know. What you should find initially neat, kind of really medicinal, kind of peaty. It then becomes kind of meaty to me, and then there's a sweetie in Scotland again that I'll always hark back to, and it's Oddfellows, and I get Oddfellows at the end of this one. So just the kind of, and that's the kind of influence of the cask.
Right. All right. So we have that tasting note from you there. So that's your idea on all of that as well. Martin.
I have an image for all of the whiskies I taste. I have a sort of photo in my mind, and for me, with a 10-year-old, I'm on a pebble beach, and the tide is going out, and the pebbles are wet, and there are some seaweeds here, and I can smell this briny, iodinic air, but also is as if there was a tarry rope of boat left here, and this sort of touch of mineral, and which is interesting in the 10-year-old is that on the nose, for me, I get all these notes. Then the bacon, crisp bacon, and when I taste it, it's just the opposite. I have a bacon first, and then after that, I'm going out by the sea, and I'm lucky enough to experience that almost every day now, as I'm a resident on Islay. So I'm really privileged.
Great place to be living, and a great description as well, if I may say so. That was a story. You took me for a walk there for a while, Martin. I was gone with you. On the end, sir, what do you think?
Well, as those of you who were on here last year know, I always put water with mine when I nose it and taste it. And like Martin said, it's funny, we've never talked about Laphroaig before, and Martin talks about a pebble beach. I always talk about sandy beach. In the summer, as the tide's going out, and you get the smell of that ozone and the seaweed, and we both think along the same lines. Martin picks up a little bit more of the flintiness in it, and I pick up a little bit more of the medicinal style. But on the taste, it's absolutely superb.
Gives you a great picture, and we'll come to some of our friends and some of our staff in just a few moments to find out how they feel about that. Incidentally, questions. If you have a question for us, and there's people joining us all around the world right now, right across the world, just like last time. So if you're joining us wherever you happen to be, do let us know where you are. Let us know what you're tasting. If you're tasting something at the same time, you've got the bottle of Laphroaig out there, and you're pouring it down the glasses and trying to get the same flavours that the guys here are getting. Now's the chance to get in touch with us. There's a little box at the bottom. Just put your name in there, put your question in there, your comment in there, send it to us. It'll come on the screen right in front of me here. That's how it's all working tonight, so please do stay in touch with us. Question in from Mark Woodward. Thank you, Mark, for your question. I'd like to know the basics of tasting, the importance of the nose, palate, colour. Could you describe the process of tasting? Now, we could be here all night on this, so try and keep this one as quick as you can. So, when it comes to tasting, what should the guys who aren't professional tasters be looking for? Well,
personally, I have my trick, maybe because I'm French or blonde or whatever, but I always put some of the whiskey on my hand to have first the malt, the heart of a whiskey. And it's just to give an additional pleasure. But I think it's just have your senses ready to catch whatever you will catch. And don't try to find what we find. It's just your nose just very quickly. I don't know if you would say that, Robert, but really not too long, because the more you stay, then you will lose the aromas. And in the palate, just a little sip.